Day 1 of documentation. Planet Ignis. Nice to meet you. I'm a scientist explorer named Dr. Veritas. I am from a different planet, and I travel to different planets. And the subject of today's planet is Ignis. The people of this planet used to live on the moon. At least their own moon, not my moon. I have a different moon. Again, I am from a different planet. The golem on that planet had used it as a core. Please silence all notifications and phones. Sorry. Other people in the room. Anyway, where was I? The golem on this planet had destroyed the moon, and the people of that planet needed to go to a new one, so went to the planet of that moon, if that makes any sense. We'll talk about the golem more later, but we're going to talk about what the people on the planet actually eat and how they survive. You see, people on this planet do have a resistance to heat, but they cannot handle, they can't get dehydrated. One way is they don't get dehydrated and live on such a planet like this is a fruit. This is called a flame fruit. The flame fruit is a fruit that looks like a fire, hence the name, but it has water in it. So when you eat it, it hydrates you and it stops you from dying from dehydration. It's also seen as a form of engagement for couples, but it's commonly given to people for a form of water. Though what you are currently seeing on screen is a leviathan. Leviathans are giant fish-like creatures that live in the water of these planets. Leviathans use these fish things as lures to catch their main food, which is firefish. Although there are other animals, we will be talking about mostly Leviathan and the firefish when it comes down to the lava lakes that are in this world. Ignis is filled with lava as oceans. Very little fruit can survive, besides plants, and can survive on this planet. Leviathans are roughly about 100 feet long, or at least when they're born, they're roughly about 100 feet long. They move to around 100 meters as they grow, and that's their top length. Although it does appear that they have lava on them, it's not real. This lava, or quote lava, is actually just orange-colored pigments that form in the webs between their fingers and in their tails. The other thing I'd like to talk about is the lava fish. Lava fish are the second main way to get water on this planet, as they naturally create water inside their bodies. As the people of this land are quite, not to be rude, but tribal compared to my planet, we have yet to actually figure out what it is that makes them be able to create their own water. Though we have our theories, we don't know for certain, as we've only been able to actually go on this planet freely for a few decades now. As when I was born, that was when the moon had, how do I say this, engulfed in lava. Anyway, when that had happened, the golem had sent its offspring, which would be a core, down to this planet, which I'm currently here to find and destroy to stop this planet from having the same fate as its moon. Hi, yeah, it's me, Dragon King. I'm kind of curious about something. The art that you're showing us right now, how'd you make it? Oh, so glad you asked. Well, you see, the art in this video is entirely made by me, yours truly. And now that I've kind of talked about the lava parts of this planet, I'm going to start talking about the art in it. Because it does give us some key details for the actual planet and its history. You see, the Leviathan and the fish both have incredibly tough outer scales, I guess you could say, to deal with the lava from the planet in which it swims in. The scales are incredibly tough, stronger than obsidian, in fact. Also, if you're curious how they see, the lures on top of it, if you look at the Leviathan's back and at the front of its face, right in between its eyes, there's a lure. It's in the shape of a fire fruit. To get animals, or fire fish, because they incredibly love this fruit, you come near it, despite the big size. It commonly hides in lava and is an ambush predator, just like crocodiles from another planet known as Earth. I'm unfamiliar with this planet, as I have not been there myself, and also will probably not be there for a very long time, as despite what you would think, I do not get paid enough for this job. Well, while I was drawing this, I had a few problems. First thing is that I'm relatively new to drawing on this. And the second thing is... Oh, we finished it. My bad. Well, the second thing is that I have to trace everything over, and then I have to redraw. Anyway, now we're on to the fire dragon of this land, the king of the ground. So yes, there are animals here, but we're not talking about the cool ones, like the fire dragon. Despite what it is in medieval culture, this one is more lean for ambush hunting and stalking. When they're younger, they travel in groups, but as they get older and bigger, they travel by themselves. They don't get too big, maybe about the size of a hippo, at least when they're fully grown. When they're younger, they're more of the size of a tiger. And by hippo, I don't saying that they're like big. I'm mostly saying that's like how like height-wise and things like that. It's very red. It has it blends in with the surroundings, which are most of the dirt here is kind of dark, ashy color, very red. Despite what you're seeing on screen right now, it's not green. I was using that for color purposes. I mean, that I could do what you're seeing right now. It is a complete and utter carnivore. It will only eat meat, so it will eat cattle. If it does see a firefish out of the lava, then it will eat that. It is also eaten by Leviathan, probably the second biggest apex predator on this planet, other than the golem, as I previously mentioned, that I'm trying to find. One dragon, specifically males, typically, unless, I mean, there have been some weird occasions where it hasn't happened, but typically are the hunters, as the mothers will protect the young. Also, dragons stick together. They are made for life. And most often, the father will die out hunting or in a fight with another dragon and could possibly die. In which case, the mother will take one of its own and use it as a relatively, I don't know how to say this. It will put it in more harsh conditions compared to the others. Maybe give it less food to make it grow up faster so it can equivalently protect the family as the father can't anymore. Quite weird behavior for an animal, considering most don't do that. The scales are relatively stronger in the upper half of the dragon, from roughly about where the wings are up, though it does, it's relatively tough, but in the front, it's more attuned to getting hit there, as in the back, during the tail, it's relatively weaker. The fire at the end of the tail simply used to intimidate or show the strength. The bigger the fire, the bigger, stronger the dragon is at the time. Design-wise, it was relatively easy. The scales were really the hardest part, because I wanted to kind of train to that. The other thing is the phoenix, which rules the sky. Though the dragons can somewhat fly, they're more attuned to gliding, as they will climb on high mountains and glide out to other mountains. They don't hoard riches. If anything, the phoenix is what hoards the riches, excuse me. Had some salts this morning. Phoenixes will hoard gold and treasures and put in their nest for their young. They're basically giant bald eagles, if you know what those are. I'm not sure if you do. Oh, don't worry, I do. Alright, well, good. These eagles, well, not eagles, phoenixes, despite what people say, they aren't actually made out of fire, but instead are meant to blend in with the fiery look aspect of the sky, and will commonly blend in with the sun. That way they can use that as a way to hunt. They'll put their back to the sun, that way the people can't see them, and they'll come in as almost like a peregrine falcon and go and swoop up their prey, in which case they can eat it. These are actually, when standing, I should say, 7 feet tall. The wingspan of, this is pretty big, 22 feet. The feathers are almost color-coded to make it that way they do look like fire, as you saw earlier. Their eyes are almost pitch black. Makes it that they can see better in this. What I should say is their eyes are black. At least they appear to be black, but it's actually what's around the eye that is black. So the light goes to that and not their eye. Despite what it looks like, they don't actually really use their eyes for hunting. They mostly use echolocation, which is this is what actual echolocation is, but what they do is very similar to it. They will put out heat signals, and then when they feel that temperature change or something similar to that heat, they will go after it. In which case, they know where their prey is. All I'll say is you never want to be out on your own when you're out on this, because you will get snatched by these and you will probably get eaten alive. A sad fact that I have to accept. That's why you are here. Alright, at least now I know what I'm doing. Any other things you want to talk about design for this? Oh, yes, of course. I mostly just use gradients and a fill tool. Fill things in, and it wasn't really any problem. I was debating on whether I should just give it a blank background or keep it how it is now. I ended up choosing just to keep it how it is. Alright, finally. The last thing we'll be discussing today is very sad and tragic. You see, people of this world used to live on a different planet. I kind of already told you the story, but I want to say it more dramatically now. They were peaceful. They lived on the moon. It was kind of like this, but more tropical. Very similar to the place you call Earth. But then, a fire golem came. Out of nowhere erupted from the earth, causing earthquakes and volcanoes to erupt. Finally, it had taken its own core out, the thing that makes it survive, and plunged it into the core of the moon. The moon had erupted with lava as the core shot out onto the planet we are now on now. Ever since, Ignis has been pulsing out more lava than usual and more fire. The lava oceans have been rising, but the closest planet we could evacuate the people to at the time was this one. After a certain point, we couldn't do more evacuations, so they're kind of stuck on this planet. Although they will be able to survive on it for generations to come. But we don't want to have the same incident happen again. That's why I'm here, to track this thing down. According to my sources, it won't be as big or as strong. The first one was roughly about 3,000 meters. This one should be a little less than that. Oh, great. I'm getting a call right now. What? Yep. Yeah. Alright. Just found it. Alright. Well, let's head on the way. While we're going there, because, try not to get super stressed out about fighting a giant golem. Yeah, that's what the call was, I can tell. Yeah, try not to get stressed out, Gotta do my magic science things. Probably a lot of people are about to die. Alright. So, why are you looking at me like that? Well, you see, you kind of look like completely pale. That's what I'm saying. I'm stressed out, alright? Just give me some break. Give me a break. Alright? Jeez. Anyway. Let's talk about the art. And, do you want to talk about this one? Oh, yeah, sure. Totally. Alright, well, the art in this one is relatively simple. You see, when I first came up with this story, right, for like an astronaut going throughout the world into different places, solving problems, I kind of had made different golems, right? So one of them I made was a fire golem. Wait, what are you talking about? Just like, okay, what do you mean? You said that you came with a story. This isn't a story. This is the real world. Oh, yeah, don't worry about it, alright? Like, don't think about it too much. Also, why are you looking out into the distance? I'm not looking out into the distance. You're looking out into the distance. Alright, let's get back to the art. See, I based this off on the original I saw, and I made. But I put in a new style. I like it more. Had more brushes, / I knew more what I was doing. What are you talking about? I made this. Yeah, sure you did, man. I legit. You know what? I give up. Yeah, you really should. I mean. Alright. Get back to it. So you see, I did fire on one layer, then used the spray paint tool underneath it to make it that it has like a fiery look. Then went over with another layer, give it some detail like the light from the fire. Didn't realize that I made a new thing. A few mistakes were made, but genuinely, I like it. again, with all these, I sketched out on paper, then decided to color it in digitally so I could record it for the video. And yeah. Yeah, I had to leave due to things coming up, aka I wanted to eat lunch, but that doesn't really matter. Also, I was having problems with the computer, but it doesn't really matter. And I'll be back in 3. Wait, hold on. First off, how do you know I was having problems with my computer when I was making it? And I had to go out and do something. Because, again, what are you getting about this? I drew it. Just this is a different universe and you don't know what's happening. Wait, what are you talking about? Listen, I don't want to explain this to you because you don't know it. But, by the way, this is a plug for Wildcard Lands of Myth. But, you see, never mind. Look, the video's back on. You know what? You're crazy. Anyway, yeah. The star here was going to give me problems. I wanted to give it a cool, like, glowing effect, but my glow brush wasn't working. So I had to go like this. And then I decided not to. Because it took way too long. Like, genuinely. Trying a bunch of different things. Different brushes. And I just sat there for a second trying to figure out what I should do here. And I finally came to the conclusion of just do this. Do this. Do it. Do this. There we go. Wait, no, not that. No, not that either. Yeah, this is what I was talking about right there. Alright, that's the video. Have fun, folks.